Mic check 1, 2, and 2. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday night. We're tracking a couple of isolated areas of rain and storm activity this evening. It's not everywhere, and it's moving towards Campbellton right now, southeast of Pleasanton. Down 281, down I-37, closer to northwestern portions of Live Oak County. And you can see it's very isolated. It's lone, and it's well to the south of Bexar County. With that being said, if you're watching from Hondo, Medina County, and even north of Uvalde in very rural areas southeast of Camp Wood, you can also notice some activity sparking off. Now, as we go into the evening hours and through 9, 10, and 11 p.m., a lot of this will weaken overnight just because of temperatures cooling down. Typically with storms like this, in the springtime, you need heat and sunlight to fuel these thunderstorms, and as temperatures cool in the evening and overnight, typically that helps decay storms and rain activity. But still, if you're watching from Hondo and from Uvalde, there is some rain out there. And matter of fact, let's zoom in into Pleasanton, and eastern, southeastern portions of Atascosa County is included in this yellow polygon, this yellow box, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, what do we mean by severe? Well, typically from these outflows from these storms, you can get winds up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. Now, notice I'm going to zoom out, and I'll show you a hail tracker in just a little bit, but watch how impressive this thunderstorm looked at about 8:15, 30 minutes ago. A ton of lightning around 8:15, and this thunderstorm, what it did was it built in height, it strengthened, and then it's now starting to decay on approach to Campbellton and as it crosses I-37. So notice 30 minutes ago, it was very impressive on radar. Matter of fact, it had a hail core on that northern sector of the cell about 30 minutes ago. And as it progressed farther northeast, just watch the amount of lightning that decreases. That kind of trends down on approach to Campbellton. So you can see over the last 30 minutes, this storm has weakened substantially. So here's 8:15 again. Let's see if lightning pops up, but you can see that pink core on reflectivity north of Highway 72, at least Texas 72, and that was 8:15 earlier tonight, and just watch it weaken on approach to I-37. Now, with that being said, if you're watching from Campbellton, anywhere along 281, if you have any friends or family driving along this highway, on this interstate right now, in the next 20 minutes or so, they will see some rain. They will see a flash of light. It's not a lot of lightning right now because, again, this thunderstorm has really shortened in height and just decreased in strength on approach to I-37, 281, and near Campbellton. So everything that forms tonight may produce a brief rumble of thunder or a brief clash of lightning, but a lot of this activity will build and weaken very quickly. And you saw that with this cell south of San Antonio, south of Pleasanton. About 8:15 it formed. Let's rewind the clock. And it was so impressive as it crossed over the county line from LaSalle County to Tilden and all across Atascosa County. But as we lose daytime heating and the fuel for these thunderstorms, it weakened a lot. So you can see the lifespan of this one cell, this isolated thunderstorm, over the last 30 minutes. So it wasn't even a long time. You can see from Tilden, from Fowlerton, all the way to Campbellton, this storm really decreased in strength. And this is not heading towards San Antonio. It is not. However, if you're watching from the west side of Bexar County, maybe near Castroville, and even near Hondo, some of this patchy, scattered activity may make its way towards you. And I'm going to put on the loop over the last 3 hours. Let's put this on right there and save that. So again, you know, the heating of the day earlier this afternoon, we hit, 90 degrees, and with instability, that very buoyant air is going to rise, hot air rises, and this sometimes can fuel thunderstorms in the springtime. So you can see north of Uvalde, there's that cluster of cells right there. So far, this has not been deemed a severe thunderstorm, but it is a cluster of showers and storms that is producing some lightning, but not severe at this point. Just some good soaking rain. And if anyone needs it, it's it's Uvalde, it's Medina County, it's Bandera, it's Camp Wood, it's near Medina Lake. This is the area of rain, in addition to this area southwest, that desperately needs rain. I mean, everywhere is an extreme to severe drought. So this is much welcomed. But again, a lot of this is going to trend down for the night and weaken over the next couple hours. So again, yes, there is one isolated severe thunderstorm warning south of Pleasanton, now moving through Campbellton, and is just about to cross over I-37. But at this point, it is just a good soaking rain, producing a brief rumble of thunder, some occasional lightning, but is not widespread, at least compared to what it was 30 minutes ago. So it's 8:50 right now as of the time on my computer. But again, around 8:15 earlier this evening, about 45 minutes ago, this thunderstorm was very impressive as it crossed and developed right over Fowlerton and west of Tilden on Texas 97 right there. This was at 8:10 earlier this evening. But watch its approach towards Atascosa County. Very impressive on radar earlier this evening, about 45 minutes ago. Had a ton of lightning, had a strong core, good updraft in the thunderstorm, and then it just weakened on approach to Campbellton. So here's the radar as it stands right now. It's scanning right now from the different radar sites in South Texas, one in New Braunfels, one in Corpus Christi. And you can see it's lonesome, it's very isolated, and it's going to cross over I-37 and 281 in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So let's see if I can't put an arrow on this, but can I do that? Oh, there we go. So this is moving towards the east and northeast. And again, it's isolated. This is probably not going to even touch Pleasanton and central and northern portions of Atascosa County. So if you're watching from maybe Elmendorf or Pleasanton, you are okay. You will stay dry tonight, unfortunately, because we could all use the rain. But let's zoom out and just show you how far removed it is from San Antonio. So this is fun. This is actually interesting right here. So notice the radar kind of blows up right here. You can see northeast of Hollywood Park. Our radar will pick up on this a lot in the evening. It looks like rain on radar, but it's actually bats emerging from caves northwest of Garden Ridge and northwest of I-35. It happens a lot, especially in the spring and summertime. It can be mistaken for rain just popping up randomly, but it's actually bats re-emerging from their caves in the evening time. It's the time of day that happens. But that is not rain over Garden Ridge. That is not rain over Timberwood Park. But what is rain is right over here. Matter of fact, some pretty good strong storm activity north of I-10, Highway 90. I should say Highway 90, and north of Uvalde. So if you're watching from anywhere near Medina Lake, southeast of Camp Wood, especially north of Sabinal and north of Uvalde. I mean, if you're watching from Uvalde, if you look in your northern sky, there's probably a very large thunderstorm in the distance about, let's say, 15 miles away from Uvalde. It's about 10 to 15 miles away from Uvalde. So if you're in Uvalde and you're watching this and you look north into your northern sky, you'll see a pretty strong storm that may produce and probably seeing a few flashes of light. I mean, north of Highway 90. And again, this activity specifically has a east and northeast movement. So let's zoom out and show you, if I can zoom out, there we go. So I'll put the loop on it. I'll show you kind of the movement of these storms and these cells. As they kind of emerged from Del Rio, you can see about 6 o'clock this evening, let's say 7:30, they developed out near Del Rio, out near Val Verde County, and just kind of progressed farther east and northeast. So you can see as it crosses over Medina County, which is a good spot for good rain, it's heading this direction right now. So if you're watching from Bandera, maybe Hondo, you may see a light shower if you're watching from Hondo. But again, a majority of this activity will weaken in the next hour or two. Just like that cell out near Atascosa County, how that weakened, this one will weaken as well. It's building, it's pulsing right now, and then it's going to really collapse in on itself as temperatures cool off in the next couple hours. So yes, Bandera, you may see some rain probably if you do see some rain, and if this cell actually maintains its strength probably in the next hour or so if you're watching from Bandera, and also probably around Lake Hills. So here's Medina Lake right here, and this is going to cross probably to the north and northwest of Medina Lake, but northern Medina County, maybe Hondo, Castroville, we'll see a brief shower through about 9:30 p.m. And again, this activity, while it will weaken, if it maintains at least some structure, should cross into Bandera and closer to Kirk County, probably in the next, let's say, hour. I mean, it's about 25 miles away from Kirk County line, 25 to 30 miles away. So yeah, I mean, probably through about 9:30, 10, this is probably the best area in our local viewing area that'll see a good, decent soaking of rain. But once again, a lot of this activity is going to weaken on approach. Yeah, so let's erase that, and then let's show you the bigger picture. Let's see, zoom out, and let's just put on the looping radar. So, yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, there was a severe storm warning issued about 8:30, 8:35 for southeastern portions of Atascosa County, and look at this cell. It's really weakened a lot. Maybe a lingering rumble of thunder as it crosses over I-37 and near Campbellton, but everywhere in San Antonio, it's dry. This is not rain. This is clutter from our radar side in New Braunfels. This is not rain in northern San Antonio. There's cloud cover overhead, but the nearest rain is south of Pleasanton over Atascosa County, and an isolated storm moving through portions of Uvalde and into Medina County and closer to Bandera. So this has that northeast movement. This will not impact San Antonio. However, if you're watching from Hondo, maybe western portions of Medina County and Bexar County and Bandera and Kerr County, you may get clipped by an isolated shower, maybe a brief rumble of thunder through about 9:30. But a lot of this activity is going to weaken in the next several hours as we again lose daytime heating and cool off. Right now we're at 74 degrees. It feels good outside. It is a little breezy to windy. Sustained winds are at 17 miles an hour. Humidity is up a little bit. Matter of fact, I mean, compared to this time yesterday, we were in the our humidity values were in the 40s, the dew point temperature. Now we're in the 60s. So the southeast wind has ushered in more humidity, which is going to set up more of a chance at rain tomorrow and more importantly on Tuesday. And we'll talk about that coming up. And matter of fact, take a look at the humidity values right now. A lot of green on the map, and that's going to help fire danger. However, for tomorrow, the Texas A&M Forest Service has still kept us in a high to very high risk for fire danger. And this will be the theme over the next several days through Tuesday, through Wednesday, as we continue to lack in rainfall, as we continue to see worsening drought. And Tuesday, wind speeds will be moving up to 25 and 30 miles an hour, similar to today, and that's going to create more fire danger through midweek. So here's an update on the fire in northern Bexar County and Camp Bullis. So you can see this is the smoke that's being produced from that fire. It's definitely being contained right now. Fire crews are out there continuing to try and contain this. But notice the southeast winds at the surface. That's going to continue to pump in more humidity, but also transport any fire that's produced from the Camp Bullis fire, move it towards the northwest, move it towards Fair Oaks Ranch and towards Kerrville. It's not going to be a lot of smoke, but that'll lower the air quality, and it'll be a narrow swath because of those southeast winds and breezy to windy overnight. They should subside through tomorrow morning, 15, maybe 10 miles an hour by early Monday, and cloud cover will build in as well. So if you have any plans for tomorrow, if you're going back to work, if you're going to school, a nice day overall. It's going to be near 90 in the afternoon. But notice morning clouds, gray and gloomy to kick off your Monday and off the work week. But towards about 2 and 3 o'clock, the sun will reemerge and kind of break through the clouds, and it'll be another summer-like day. I mean, 80 degrees is the average high for this time of year, and it'll be near 90 for your Monday. And that continues through the next several days, through midweek. It's 90 on Tuesday, 92 on Wednesday. All these days will be, away from a record, so we're not going to break any records. But it just gives you an idea of how hot it's going to be through tomorrow, through Tuesday and Wednesday, 90 to 92 around San Antonio and around the metro. And it's not until Thursday we get a brief cool down from 92 on Wednesday to about 85 on Thursday. So some relief is in the forecast, but what that front's going to do through Thursday is actually increase the wind speed even more. Behind this weak front, winds are going to move up to 20, 30 miles an hour on Thursday. So it's just going to create more and more fire danger, elevated fire conditions, and we do need rain. Now, speaking of rain, take a look at the rain chances over the next 72 hours. So tomorrow, another chance at some afternoon, late evening storms. Right now, forecast models are not too keen on the idea, but on Tuesday, where we do have a pretty good chance at seeing scattered thunderstorms after 4 p.m. So notice on that rain chance graphic, Monday and Tuesday, mainly after 4 p.m. is the best time we could see thunderstorms. And the reason for that is because of daytime heat. Hot air rises, and with increasing humidity, some upper level support from the west, it's all going to kind of give us a good combo for at least a decent chance at rain. You can see it's not a slam dunk. Monday and Tuesday, isolated to scattered, better chance at rain Tuesday night. But then it backs off for Wednesday and Thursday. So for the extended period, it's really Tuesday evening where we could see a better chance at rain, specifically here in San Antonio. So storms will decay overnight, very weak this evening, and any rain that develops out near Hondo and out near Uvalde, scattered showers, a few storms this evening, but backs off by midnight, and we're seeing quiet and cloudy conditions for early Monday morning. Now here's Tuesday. So here's the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. You can see San Antonio is included in that marginal risk, that green shade. That's a level 1 out of 5, so it's the least threat. And then you go up I-35 towards Austin and towards Bryan and College Station. They're under a slight risk for Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night for a few strong to severe storms. And again, that's not to say that we won't see anything, but there will be a scattering of storms that develops with the heating of the day. So let's show you tomorrow morning, cloudy skies as you get your Monday morning started. Temperatures in the 60s, mild, not chilly whatsoever. It'll feel pretty good tomorrow morning, but the clouds will be locked in. Any rain that develops will be east of 35, and any storms that develop will be after 4 p.m. But notice this forecast model paints out a partly cloudy to mostly sunny sky. Tomorrow afternoon with highs near 90. It's going to be another hot day for your Monday. But there is that small chance of rain in the evening, so we'll have to watch out very closely. Now, what's very important is Tuesday morning, clouds build back in, humidity surges in and sets up the stage for a few storms after 4 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. So watch this. Now, I do think this forecast model for the temperature, it says 97 on Tuesday. It's not going to be that hot. It will be warm. We'll be in the lower 90s on Tuesday. It will be 90 to 92, but to say it's 97, that's way too hot. But after 4 p.m., with the heating of the day, humidity back in from the Gulf of Mexico, that's going to spark off scattered activity. All that hot air is going to rise, very buoyant air, and upper level support will ignite a few storms between 4 and 6 p.m., and these storms will travel farther east and northeast down I-10 towards LaGrange and towards Columbus. So again, tomorrow morning, let's backtrack this. Monday morning at about 8 a.m., it's cloudy, it's dry, a few sprinkles here and there. Monday afternoon, maybe an isolated shower or storm, but otherwise partly cloudy to mostly sunny for tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a warm day for your Monday. Tuesday morning comes around, very similar. Clouds build back in, overcast skies, gray and gloomy. And then the best chance at rain in our 7-day, it'll be after 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, as hot air rises, and wind shear will help create a vacuum in the upper levels of the air and help initiate and develop storms scattered around I-35 and I-37. So this is about 5:30 Tuesday evening, and these storms will move down I-10, move east and northeast towards Houston Tuesday night, 8, 9, 10 p.m. And after that, we are done, and the rest of the forecast looks pretty good. But, I mean, even at that, we're keeping a probably 30% chance at a few storms, and primarily that's Tuesday night. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs near 90, at isolated outside chance at an evening shower, maybe a morning sprinkle, but it's really Tuesday night is our best chance at rain. Friday brings a bit more cloud cover, but still cooler than average, at least cooler than the next couple of days. And then Good Friday looks fine. I mean, 85 degrees for Friday, and then Easter Sunday, we warm back up, partly cloudy skies and perfect weather, at least perfect South Texas weather for any outdoor activities later on this weekend. So, again, guys, that is the chance at rain. We'll see if we get any, but as you saw on that particular forecast model, and even with this outlook, we are in a level 1 out of 5 for Tuesday night for any strongness of your storms, more widespread storms northeast of San Antonio. And the best chance at rain, let's just walk through it one more time before we get off Facebook and off social media. Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock comes around. It's sunny, it's partly cloudy, highs near 90, and here comes an eruption of storms pretty much paralleling I-35 and I-37 from George West to Floresville to Seguin. This timing, Tuesday evening, will be our best time for any rain that develops. And it backs off for Wednesday. It's sunny Wednesday, and it's mostly clear on Thursday. So to wrap things up, guys, we'll go to the 7-day real quick. We will wrap things up in the 7-day just a bit, but just want to keep a close eye on this one cell out near, let's say, Hondo. So you can see right there. The closest rain is not in San Antonio. This is clutter on the radar, what you're seeing in Hollywood Park and in New Braunfels, San Antonio. That is just clutter by the radar, but near Utopia and southeast of Camp Wood, closing in on Bandera, this cell has strengthened in the last half hour. Technically not severe at this hour, but it's gathering strength, it's gathering steam, and it's moving towards the northeast. So we'll show you the movement of this cell right there. So it has an easterly movement. So it could close in on Bandera and Lake Hills and maybe even near Hondo through about, let's say, 9:30 and 10 p.m. tonight. But once again, these storms feed off the heating of the day. So with temperatures cooling off this evening through 10 p.m. and no sunlight, some upper level support, some energy out there, but the lack of any daytime heat is going to help decay this thunderstorm. Yeah, it's pretty impressive on radar right now. Some good lightning to it. Matter of fact, let's see if we can slice this open. So notice the height of this thunderstorm. It's at about, you can see on the edges of this storm, updrafts are up near, 30,000 feet. For storms to be, severe and produce hail in these updrafts, they have to be up to 50 to 60,000 feet. So this is a fairly weak storm, but a storm nonetheless, and some rain nonetheless. We need rain, and we're, in drought. So this is much needed. But yes, if you're watching from Utopia, if you're watching from Bandera and Lake Hills, this is heading in your direction. And if it can maintain its strength, this will head in your direction by about 9:30 to 10 with this easterly, northeasterly movement. So we'll keep a close eye on this. This is producing some lightning, but it is not severe. Some, gusty winds from the outflows maybe, but there's no rotation, there's no hail. Matter of fact, let's actually take a look at Hail Tracker. Yeah, this is not producing any hail whatsoever. So this is just a pretty good rain-making storm that is moving towards Bandera, towards northern Medina County, and probably Medina Lake through about 9:30 and 10. So that'll be a good soaking rain. But we'll have to watch very closely through about 10 and 10:30 if this particular cell, closes in on northwestern Bexar County. If this were to sustain its strength, it would close in near Fair Oaks Ranch just because of its kind of easterly movement right now. So it's moving towards the east and northeast, but I'm still convinced that just like the cell out near Atascosa County at 8:30 and 8:45 earlier this evening, this storm is going to build and then decay very quickly because of just no heat out there. It's cooling down, and this is just not the perfect environment for strong to severe storms. It is producing a ton of lightning out near Utopia and northeast of Uvalde and north of I-10, but as far as long track and strong sustaining thunderstorms, this does not look like one. But if you're watching from Hondo, there's probably some good flashes of light in your northwestern sky. If you're in Bandera, if you look out west, you'll probably see a tall thunderstorm despite it being nighttime, and you'll see some flashes of light in your western southwestern sky. So again, we'll keep a close eye on this. This is not severe. This has not been issued. A severe storm warning from the Weather Service, but it is just a good soaking rain moving towards northwestern Medina County. It's northeast of Uvalde, and it's moving towards Bandera. And again, if it can sustain its strength, which I don't think it will, but if it can, it'll near Fair Oaks Ranch, maybe near Bernie, by about 10 p.m., 10:30 this evening. So again, we'll keep a close eye on it right now. Yes, producing some lightning, but it is not producing any hail. And in terms of its structure, yes, its height is up to about 30,000 feet, but in terms of strong to severe storms and on the criteria of that, it is not up there on that level. So it is moving east, northeast towards Bandera, and should clip, Medina Lake and near, let's say, Lake Hills. But that is about it. And overall, by and large, this storm should weaken. And just like the storm cell earlier this evening around Atascosa County and near Campbellton, I am expecting this cell, this isolated storm, to weaken through the next hour or two. So let's zoom in. So you can see Lake Hill's right there, Bandera, Bernie, all dry. This, again, right here in San Antonio, this is all cluttered. This is not rain. This is rain right here north of Sabinal and northwest of Hondo. But again, this has that easterly movement to this cell, and this should weaken in the next several hours. Next, let's say hour or two. So we'll keep a close eye on it. Right now, updraft is at about 30,000 feet. Yes, generating some electricity over Utopia. If you're watching from Utopia or south of Lake, you can see a lot of lightning with this. But this is the only cell. There's some, scattered activity north of Brackettville, west of Camp Wood, and northeast of Del Rio. Otherwise, that cell, look at this. This is insane. So I'm going to backtrack this. So if you're just watching, we had a severe storm warning south of San Antonio near Tilden at about 8:15, 8:30. And you can see I'm backtracking through time. Notice that cell, and this gives you a good idea of what these cells are going to do tonight. They're going to build, and they're going to weaken a lot. So 8:15 tonight, this cell looked so impressive, right? It had a tall updraft, a lot of lightning near Tilden. It approached I-37 and 281 near Campbellton, and then poof, it weakened so fast. That's because of just no heating right now. There's no hot air rising. The temperatures are cooling down. We're at nighttime. It's after sunset. And these cells that are being, that are generating right now, they're moving quick, but they're, building fast, and then they're dissipating quickly as well. So it'll be a really quick roller coaster of strength while, yes, producing a lot of lightning out near Utopia and northwest of Hondo. This will weaken again pretty quickly. That's what I'm expecting as it approaches Bandera. So hopefully Bandera, if you're watching from Bandera, maybe from Hondo, hopefully you do get some rain, because, the more rain, the better. Considering our drought, we need the rain. Let me actually redo that. There we go. No. So it has more of that easterly, northeasterly movement. So again, if you're watching from Hondo, Bandera, hopefully you get a good soaking of rain, but by and large, this cell should weaken in the next half hour to hour. Well, weather was nice today. Yeah, it was great. We saw highs in the 90s today. It was sunny, it was partly cloudy. But yeah, this evening we're just seeing a few isolated cells move in from west to east. Again, just to reiterate, the cell that's moving right now in our viewing area is this one right here. The one south near Atascosa County has dissipated. It has decayed. It is no longer anything right now as it crossed over I-37. But in its place, in our viewing area, is this one right here, which has an east and northeast movement. But again, this should weaken as it progresses towards Medina Lake and Texas 173 and near Bandera. They're about 9:30 and 10. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let me know. We'll be on tonight at about 10:20 here on KENS 5. We'll go on a little late on CBS and here on KENS 5. But again, if you have any questions, let me know. But for now, I'll leave the 7-day on. Best chance at rain, and the 7-day is Tuesday night, as a few storms are sparked off after 4 p.m. Tuesday evening. Wednesday, skies clear, 92. Some slightly cooler air builds in for Thursday and Friday, from 92 on Wednesday to the middle 80s by the end of the week. We're halfway through April on Friday. Good Friday is looking pretty good, high near 85 with a bit more cloud cover. And Easter Sunday, back in the heat, highs near 90 with partly cloudy skies and some pretty good weather for this weekend for the holiday. So again, have a wonderful Sunday night, guys. Best chance of rain again tomorrow night and Tuesday night. Even at that, it's running at 20 to 30%. And all the rain that is out there this evening will start to decay in strength. And matter of fact, I'll leave it on the loop right now. I'll leave it on the 3-hour loop right here. And I'll keep the live stream on just to keep a close eye on this. But right now, the cell over Atascosa County and I-37 has weakened. As a matter of fact, it just decayed into cloud cover, and the closest cell right now is out near Hondo, northwest of Hondo, and heading towards Bandera. So we'll keep a close eye on this, but for right now, we'll sign off and hope you have a wonderful Sunday night. Well, hey there, guys. Happy Sunday night. We're just continuing to watch these two cells, very isolated, one north of Hondo along 173 and south of Bandera, and another cell that's popping up and strengthening a little bit west of Utopia and east of Camp Wood. Now, you'll see over the last 3 hours, these storms moved in from the west. They fueled off of daytime heat. Matter of fact, we hit 90 degrees today in San Antonio and similar numbers across the area. What that did was created a lot of instability, and with some upper level support and some lift out there, that's also creating some short-lived thunderstorms out there. And you can see that particular storm that's just north of Hondo right now was beginning to develop north of Uvalde earlier this evening. And you can see right now the particular cell is pretty strong. Now, it was a bit stronger in the last half hour, so it is slightly weakening, but with that being said, still some pretty good lightning out there north of Hondo. So if you're watching from Bandera, there's some lightning in your southern sky, and if you're watching north of, at least south of, north of Hondo along 173, pretty much right over Medina Lake and west of Lake Hills, this particular cell is non-severe, but it is moving towards the east and northeast towards Lake Hills. So if you're watching from Lake Hills, this is heading towards you in the next 15 to 30 minutes, and the heaviest pocket of rain is right here over northern portions of Medina County, west of San Antonio, in addition to another cell that has developed east of Camp Wood and just right over Lakey along, let's say, Texas 127, and these are non-severe. Additional development north of Brackaville and north of Del Rio, but the main cell we're keeping a close eye on, which has weakened in the last 15 minutes, is the one north of Hondo. And this one, again, has that easterly northeast movement, so it looks like it's going to miss Hondo just barely, but let's redraw that and show you the particular arrows right here, and you can see right there just east of Bandera, and there's the particular movement to it. So you can see right there the last loop. It's going to probably clip northwestern portions of Bexar County, which would be pretty good if it passes over northern Bexar County and Camp Bullis, because the ongoing fire threat continues over there. So this would be just what the doctor asked for. I mean, you can see right over Hondo and Medina Lake. Matter of fact, areas of northern Medina County are still under extreme drought, so this is going to help a little bit. It's not going to take the drought away, but this is something that will put us in the right direction as just isolated cells continue to march in from west to east towards northern Medina County, Medina Lake, and Bandera. So the green you're seeing right now on radar over San Antonio, that is just clutter. That is not rain at all, but north of Hondo, that is an isolated thunderstorm that is moving farther north. Now, getting a lot of questions on, is this producing any hail? So, around 8:15 earlier this evening, we did have a cell south of Pleasanton, and I'll rewind it back. There was a cell that warranted a severe storm warning from the Weather Service, and you'll see it right there. That was producing some hail around 8:30 north of Tilden. So that was the closest hail earlier this evening, but the cells that are out there right now are not producing any hail. You can see there's nothing out there, just some good heavy rain north of Hondo, and it is generating some good lightning out there. But in terms of height, thunderstorm height and updraft strength, it is not too strong. Matter of fact, as you slice open this particular cell, you'll notice up to about 30,000 feet is the height of this thunderstorm. Now, when you get up to 50, 60,000 feet, that's when you start getting, large updrafts, very tall, and that can help generate hail. But these are very shallow thunderstorms that are only reaching about 20 to maybe 30,000 feet max. And this particular cell has been weakening over time. Now, let's take a look at the cell right to the left over Utopia north of Uvalde. This one has a little bit more lightning, but barely, and as I slice this open, you can see east of Camp Wood, very similar. Now, parts of this particular isolated storm is producing, updrafts heights of about 30 to maybe 35,000 feet. So slightly more impressive to the structure of that cell. However, these cells are, pulsing, they're strengthening, and they're decaying very fast. With that being said, if you are watching from maybe Fair Oaks Ranch, Helotes, Scenic Oaks, You may get clipped by some light to moderate rain, especially if you're in Lake Hills, maybe in the Bernie. But overall, by and large, this one cell, this isolated storm north of Hondo, has been weakening over the last 10 minutes. But still can dump, easily some good, localized heavy rainfall. But that's the key word, localized, isolated. It's not going to generate widespread rain, and it should decay in the next 30 minutes to an hour as it progresses over Bandera and over Kerr and Kendall County. And the next several, let's say, minutes and also next hour or so. But again, this cell kind of has that east-northeast movement. So we'll put on the loop right there. And it's kind of drifting east, but it has that northeast track to it. So we'll kind of put it like in this direction for the next 30 minutes or so. So again, this is non-severe. This is generating, yes, some lightning, some rumble of thunder, a few flashes of light in the sky. If you're watching from Bandera, if you look south, you can see the lightning in the sky probably. If you're watching from Hondo, if you look north, you'll see the lightning in the sky. And between there, on 173, that is the Texas 173 road, that is some pretty good localized heavy rain. Now, is this heading towards Bernie and Helotes and northwestern Bexar County? Yes. However, again, with the loss of daytime heat, there is no warmth out there. We're in the 70s right now, and with cooling temperatures overnight, all this activity that is developing right now is only going to weaken from here on out. There is not enough upper level support and the dynamics aloft right now to keep long track storms going. They will form, they will strengthen, and then they will weaken very quickly. Matter of fact, as I zoom out and show you the bigger picture, and we'll take a look at velocity right now, but again, these storms are non-severe. These are just producing some localized heavy rainfall, and again, that's the key word, localized, isolated, and most likely it's not going to reach downtown San Antonio or Loop 410. It's probably going to clip northwestern portions of Bexar County, if anything, if it can sustain its strength and if it can remain pretty strong as it moves northeast, east-northeast in the next 30 minutes. But again, most of this is going to weaken as it approaches Bernie and Fair Oaks Ranch. So let's zoom out and show you those two cells right there. There is some patchy scattered development north of Brackettville, just outside Del Rio. However, there is that one lightning cell south of Bandera and north of Highway 90. And let's see, and watch this. And we were talking about earlier how these particular storms in the nighttime without any much upper level support and the dynamics aloft, they will build, strengthen, and then decay. So watch this. At 8:30 this evening, about an hour and a half ago, this crossed over Hondo and then started to strengthen. And then as it passed through Highway 90 in northern Medina County, that's where it strengthened. But watch the trend. It's starting to weaken. It's starting to lose lightning. It's starting to lose the updraft strength. And a perfect example of this was earlier this evening at 8:30 this evening. Another strong cell developed north of Tilden. And watch this. This was just over, let's say, McMullen County and LaSalle County. A very strong storm to our south around 8:30 this evening. Was very strong, generated a lot of lightning, just like the one west of San Antonio right now near Hondo. But this one at 8:30 strengthened, and then it just decayed so fast. It weakened, and poof, it was gone by about 9:15, about 45 minutes ago, and now it is clear over Karnes County, Karnes City, and Campbellton. But the most recent cell, again, right here northwest of Hondo, about to cross over Texas 173 in Bandera. This will also weaken. There's no heating out there. There's not enough upper level support, dynamics aloft to keep this going for the next 2 hours. If it gets lucky, it'll cross Bandera. It'll get close to Bernie, maybe near I-10, but it'll be probably just moderate rain at that point. And you can see the lightning is starting to fizzle out as it progresses farther northeast towards Bandera and Texas 16 and near I-10. So we'll keep a close eye on this. Again, it has that east and northeast movement to it. And notice right near Castroville, it should miss Castroville, but it's going to head towards the east and northeast the next hour and a half. So again, we'll keep a close eye on it, but overall it's losing its umph, it's losing its strength and a lot of its steam. If anybody sees rain, it's going to be Medina Lake in the next, if not right now, in the next 15 minutes or less. And maybe Helotes, maybe Fair Oaks Ranch, and Bernie will get in on some Moderate rainfall, maybe a brief localized downpour, but aside from that, a lot of this activity that is moving northeast and east will continue to weaken in the next hour or less. But again, some good much needed rain nonetheless. We'll take it. And as I zoom out, notice some more additional activity north of Uvalde and west of Utopia and east of Camp Wood. So there's an additional cell. This has that easterly movement to it, but again, this should weaken as it approaches Bandera and as it approaches a Hondo and Highway 173. So we'll keep a close eye on this one, but right now, not too impressive. None of these are severe. None of these have been warranted by the Weather Service for a severe storm warning. So at this point in time, at 10 o'clock this evening, it is just some good, much needed localized heavy rain crossing over northern portions of Medina County, Kendall County, Bandera, and closing in on I-10 in the next half hour. We'll leave this loop on. Let's see if I can erase that. We're going to go live on KENS 5 in about 10 minutes, so I have to get ready, but we'll leave this loop on. Again, a lot of this activity is weakened if you're just tuning in. Let's see, right here. So again, yeah, so you can see the structure of this kind of fizzling out. It had a lot of lightning around 9:30 this evening, but since then, still some lightning out there along 173 and south of Bandera, but you know, structurally, you can see it kind of closing in on itself and raining itself out as it crosses over Bandera right now. But we'll keep a close eye on this. Again, these have east-northeast movements to it. And if it's going to impact anywhere in San Antonio, it's going to be the far northwestern part of Bexar County. If you're watching from Bernie, may get clipped by a brief downpour around, let's say, 10:30 to 10:45. But right now, a lot of the storm activity, a lot of the potential of these storms are weakening as they track farther east and northeast. We'll keep it on radar for right now, but we'll be on KENS 5 in the next 10 minutes, so tune in there for the latest on local news and weather here on KENS 5. All right there, everybody. Happy Sunday night. We've been tracking these storms for the last few hours. They started out west, and one particular storm drifted in farther into San Antonio. And now weakening, however, an additional warning is placed for Seguin down Highway 90 and I-10 until midnight. So we had a warning for Schertz, for New Braunfels, for 1145, but there is an additional warning until midnight. So for the next 20 minutes, that does include Seguin and a big chunk of I-10 near Kingsbury and west of Luling and St. Clair, Marion, and southeastern of Braunfels. So again, this is for Comal and Guadalupe County. For this storm, this isolated cell, we're watching closely for a couple things. There is some very small hail in this one cell. And over portions of Chavano Park and near Stone Oak and northern Bexar County, as that storm kind of slid right in for the last hour or so, since about 10 and 10:30, did drop in some P to quarter-size hail in a few areas. It wasn't everywhere, but did see some reports of that. Now, in terms of severe weather, there is some strong straight-line winds up near Canyon Lake and west of I-35. So you can see this red color. This is indicative of some strong winds from the thunderstorms as they're moving farther east. But in terms of rotation, you can see, as I put this into motion, the storm had some broad rotation to it as it traveled down, Bexar County towards I-10 and towards Seguin. But nothing too compact, nothing in terms of a strong circular momentum rotation. But we do have that storm warning until about midnight. And this cell is producing some localized Of course, heavy rain and a few pockets of P2 nickel-sized hail just south of Seguin and north of I-10. Now, earlier, the hail core with this cell was pretty large. It was producing some of these blue colors earlier this evening, around 11 p.m. tonight, 11:15. But now this cell is moving down I-10, and overall, from what I've seen in the last half hour, it has been overall weakening as a trend. And you can see kind of how small it is, right? I mean, it started off as a large thunderstorm. We'll rewind the clock back. As it crossed right over San Antonio, it was pretty large, and now it's kind of losing its steam in terms of its size, right? I mean, you can see it's still encompassing a good amount of real estate between Seguin and I-35, but right now, this is just some good localized heavy rain moving closer to Kingsbury. And the overall trend of things should be weakening activity, weakening storms from here on out. But we do have another cell that's right here, just north of Helotes, that does bear some watching. This has been issued until 12:15 tonight for portions of Bexar County, Bandera County as well. This includes Scenic Oaks, Helotes, and I-10. And let's switch over the map and see what this cell is doing. So you can see there is some red and green embedded in this. There isn't any clear sign of, direct rotation, but there is, you can see right here, just northeast of Lake Hills, kind of some green and red together. So that's some broad rotation northeast of Lake Hills, just crossing over the Bexar County line in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And let's see, the hail tracker is showing some pea-sized hail out near Seguin, but let's see what this cell right here. In terms of large hail with this one, not too large. This is under the severe criteria, but the Weather Service still has issued it just in case if this thunderstorm remains strong in the next half hour. But yeah, some pea-sized hail outside of Medina Lake. You can see right here. It's hard to kind of pick out, but just east of Lake Hills and east of Medina Lake, this gray shade is indicative of some very small hail just under nickel size as it slowly approaches I-10 and Helotes. So this is crossing over into Bexar County. So again, nothing in terms of quarter-size hail with that cell. However, you can see this one cell with this Weather Service warning until midnight. We have some localized heavy rain crossing over into Seguin at this hour, and just right over I-10 and also near New Braunfels. Here's the radar site. If you're wondering what this circular is, that's actually the radar. It's what we call the cone of silence. And you don't see anything at that area, but anything zooming out, I mean, especially out near Seguin and I-10, that's where the rain is the heaviest at this hour. And, there's a couple more cells that, we'll watch very closely just west of Bandera. This has not been issued anything right now, just some good, much-needed rainfall. And let's just backtrack and show you just radar at this hour. But a couple of severe warnings right now, right over San Antonio, northwestern portions of Bexar County, just near Helotes. This is generating some lightning, but let's just see how tall this thunderstorm is, because we do have, let's see. All right, so let's zoom out. This thunderstorm is around 30,000 feet. So it's been pretty typical with all these cells. They've been ranging from about 20 to 35,000 feet. So nothing that's up to 50 to 60,000 feet, right? That's when you get really large hail, really strong updrafts and strong rotation with those kind of storms. But really at a steady level at about 30 to 35,000 feet, this is just really a good rainmaker at this point as it crosses over portions of San Antonio. So we had a warning earlier that was since expired that included Shirts. Now it's moving east farther into Seguin. This cell, I believe that this warning is in effect until midnight. So we'll keep a close eye on this activity, but right now it's kind of breaking apart, right? It's not staying compact, and this is just good rainfall down I-10 towards Seguin and east of Bexar County. That's one cell moving farther east down I-10. There is another cell that's very small. It's super isolated. That's going to close in on Scenic Oaks. Going to miss Helotes because this one is moving in from southwest to northeast right there. And you can kind of see the movement with this cell as it approaches I-10 in the next half hour. So this warning that does include Scenic Oaks and northern portions of Bexar County, that's in effect until 12:15. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. That's just east of Texas 46. And Bernie's right here. So this may actually pretty much clip Fair Oaks Ranch, but far removed from Helotes and central portions of San Antonio. There we go. So the closest hail is just outside of Seguin. You can see those gray shades. That is what hail is tracking right now on radar. And then there is just another pocket, but not entirely impressive. This cell is just more of a rainmaker. You can see in very rural areas outside of Lake Hills, that small little area of very small to pea-sized hail. So 2 warnings in effect around San Antonio in the local viewing area. One includes Fair Oaks Ranch and northern portions of San Antonio. The one is moving away from San Antonio towards the east. And both these have very broad circulation. We can see it's just some strong winds out near Canyon Lake and San Marcos with those bright red shades moving just towards I-35. But this is going to cross over I-35 and then towards Helotes and Scenic Oaks. And this one doesn't have much rotation either. I mean, you can see a little bit of red and green embedded right there, but in terms of compact circulation and strong rotation and a strong couplet, you just don't see that right now. Closing in on Texas 16. But we do have this warning in effect for Helotes. It looks like the cell will actually miss Helotes because you can see as I zoom out right here, I mean, Helotes is right there, and you can kind of see where the movement of this storm is moving. I mean, you can see right there, just near Cross Mountain, Scenic Oaks, kind of moving in this direction, right, towards the east-northeast. So it'll approach I-10, Cross Mountain, Scenic Oaks, and just southeast of Bernie. But notice how small this cell is, right? I mean, the warning's for a pretty big and large amount of real estate, but the cell itself, that storm that it's issued by, it's very small in its size. So we'll keep a close eye on it, but right now it's just going to impact a small portion of I-10 and really near Scenic Oaks and near Fair Oaks Ranch through about, let's say, midnight and 12:15. Matter of fact, that warning is in effect until, let's say, this one's in effect until midnight. However, this one's in effect until 12:15. So we'll keep a close eye on this cell. And these cells right here are fairly scattered and weak, but of course with the nature of these storms, they can always pop off real quickly. So overall, I mean, after midnight you lose a lot of heating, temperatures cool down, but we'll keep a close eye on this particular activity. So that's one cell, so we'll keep a close eye on that. So right now, that is the closest activity in around the San Antonio area. The system that was strong in strength, I mean, it was stronger in San Antonio and around Bexar County. It has weakened, but still considered severe by the Weather Service. In effect for the next 10 minutes, the severe warning for Seguin down I-10. That's moving farther east. And then we have another one right here in northwestern portions of Bexar County. Should miss Helotes, but moving towards Scenic Oaks and Fair Oaks Ranch. Matter of fact, it's just right on the edge of Fair Oaks Ranch and right on the edge of Bexar County. So this storm, relatively small compared to the last cell, but it will cross over I-10 in the next half hour. We'll keep this loop on, and we'll give you an update in the next half hour, depending on if these go severe. But this warning is in effect for the next 25 minutes, and that does include Scenic Oaks. Expect some localized heavy rain, maybe some strong gusty winds, and some very small to pea-sized hail with this one cell closing in on Scenic Oaks and I-10 near northwestern portions of Bexar County. Again, rotation very broad. You can see there was some, I mean, you can see the red and green kind of compacting together earlier this evening. And then another area of red and green right here, right there, you can see it. But still fairly loosely organized, and it's good for us because there's no strong rotation with these two cells, just very strong heavy rain and some strong gusty winds and maybe some localized light to small size hail. So we'll keep a close eye on this. All right, so we'll keep this up for the next half hour, and we'll keep a close eye on this particular warning, but it's a very small cell. Looks like it's actually losing size and losing strength and losing steam as it approaches Scenic Oaks on this Sunday night. Keep it here on Kent's 5. We'll continue to watch this.